Pet, the nation's leading spray deodorant, and Finesse, the flowing cream shampoo, bring you everybody's favorite guessing game, What's My Line? Cream shampoo, bring you everybody's favorite guessing game, What's My Line?
And now, let's meet our award-winning What's My Line panel. First, the popular columnist whose voice of Broadway appears in the New York Journal-American and papers coast to coast, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
On my left, a charming young man who this Tuesday night is going to star on the program Danger in a script which he wrote himself, Mr. Steve Allen.
Thank you very much. And on my left, the lovely lady whose new play, Late Love, moves to the Booth Theater in New York this week, Arlene Francis.
And on my left, the publisher of those exciting landmark books for America's boys and girls, Mr. Bennett Cerf, a boy himself.
On my left, the distinguished, very distinguished news analyst, panel moderator, and the poof in our pudding, John Charles Daly.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to What's My Line. Once again tonight, some very nice people have come to spend an evening with us and brought with them some occupations. We trust that the occupations will give the panel a great deal of trouble, so that our guests will have, one, a lot of fun, and two, carry home some prizes. We'll also have a famous guest challenger before the panel a bit later on, but let's get the ball rolling down the aisle now. It's time for the experts to meet our first guest, whose line they have got to spot. So would you sign in, please, ma'am? Karen Clarius, is that right? Would you be good enough to tell us where you're from?
Jackson Heights, New York.
Jackson Heights, New York. And is it Miss or Mrs.?
Mrs.
Mrs. Clarius. Well, Mrs. Clarius, there are 4 folks there from Manhattan. It's not a long walk, and they'd like to meet you. So would you walk over and meet them?
Can I shake hands with you? How do you do?
May I see your hand, Mrs. Clarius?
Yes.
I want to see your palm. Uh-huh. You're going to sit next to a man by the name of John Daly in just a minute.
All right, Mrs. Clarius, will you come over here now, please, and join me? And I think very probably that you know that at this point the panel gets one free guess as to what your line may be, and we always begin the free guesses with Miss Kilgallen.
I think she operates a very chic Finnish bath.
A very chic Finnish bath, Mr. Allen.
I think she runs a modeling agency.
Miss Francis.
I think Mrs. Clarius is a golf pro for ladies only.
Mr. Cerf.
I think Mrs. Clarius is a very expensive interior decorator.
No, I'm afraid nobody has it. We'll let our viewers have a further look at Mrs. Clarius, and at the same time, we will tell them what her line is. But now, Mrs. Clarius, the panel is going to start trying to find out just what this is all about, and we hope that they'll trip along the line. Every time they trip, I flip a card. That's every no answer, and it's worth $5 a flip, 10 flips, and you've won the game. Mrs. Clarius is self-employed. With that, we'll begin the general questioning with Steve Allen.
Do you deal in a product, Mrs. Clarius?
Yes.
Could I put your product in my pocket?
Yes.
Am I to assume from the audience's reaction that there are more logical places for this product than my pocket?
Yes.
Could this thing be worn?
Could
Worn?
this be worn?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Could it be worn by women?
Yes.
Worn by women, could get in my pocket. Am I correct in guessing that this is something that would not keep a lady warm during a long, cold winter?
Yes, you're correct in guessing it wouldn't keep a lady warm in the long, cold winter.
Am I also correct in guessing that this would be something then that a woman might be more apt to keep in, say, a drawer or a box rather than hang it in the closet? Might a woman with a very wealthy husband have a collection of these?
Yes.
Is it something that a woman might wear to, say, a formal party, a formal dinner or something?
Yes.
At this very moment, maybe. Is Arlene wearing a bunch of these around her neck?
Well, Arlene is not wearing a bunch of these around her neck. 1 down and 9 to go. Arlene, Francis.
Mrs. Clarius, is this something that you work on personally yourself, this product?
Yes.
Is this product inanimate? It is.
Mhm.
Yes. There is no life in this product.
No life.
Has there ever been any life in this product?
Has there ever been any life in this product? 2 down and 8 to go. Mr. Bennett, sir.
Mrs. Clarius, you've said nothing about poor male sex while this has all been going on. Could a male also wear this product or
Yes.
use this product?
Yes.
Just as likely to as a female?
Yes, I think so.
If either a man or a woman wore the product, would it be visible to the naked eye?
Yes.
It would.
Yes.
In other words, the product would be used above the neck. Is that correct?
Yes.
Would it be something that might possibly be used around the mouth?
Small conference, please.
Mouth? No.
Small mouth.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I'll give you a yes.
Might it be inserted inside the mouth?
Yes.
Has it got anything to do with molars of any kind, teeth,
Yes.
false teeth?
Yes.
Well, you make false teeth? You're a
Yes.
dentist?
I've never been known to keep a lady warm on a long winter night, but I... Well, Mrs. Clarius, we hope you had a lot of fun. Got a small prize, but it was very nice to have you as a guest. We did give the panel some trouble. Thanks for coming to see us on... All right, let's see what we can do with the second challenger. Would you sign in, please, sir? Logan A. Logan A. Gallagher. Well, let's see. That's a fine, bold handwriting you have there, Mr. Gallagher. Where are you from?
Hagerstown, Maryland.
Hagerstown, Maryland. Well, that's nice country. Been down there several times myself. Actually, let's see. They have a... Miss, my wife's mother comes from there. So we're almost relatives. Will you go down and meet my friends in the panel now?
Well, Mr. Gallagher.
How are you, sir?
Hello.
I do.
All right, Mr. Gallagher, now that you've crushed all their hands, come on over here and sit down next to me, will you? And I think, as you probably know, at this point in the game, we always let them have one free run, as it were. And we always begin the free runs with Miss Kilgallen.
Well, I think he's a captain on something seafaring, maybe a tugboat.
A captain on a tugboat. Mr. Allen.
That's peculiar. I got the same sort of message. He looks like an outdoor man to me. As a sunburn, this being National Tuna Week, I'd say he's a tuna fisherman.
All right, Miss Francis.
I think he's a backfield coach at some university.
Mr. Seth.
You don't seem to realize Hagerstown's way inland. I think Mr.
Yeah, but what a
Mr.
beach.
Gallagher is a truck farmer.
A truck farmer? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's not right either. So we'll let our viewers at home have a further look at Mr. Gallagher, and at the same time, we'll tell them what his line is. Miss Gallagher, at this point, we give the panel one more bit of help. We tell them whether you are salaried or self-employed, then they have to go to work. And all you have to do is to get no answers. And every time you get a no answer, I'll flip a card. 10 of these, and you've got it all sewed up, okay? All right, Mr. Gallagher is self-employed. With that, we'll begin the general questioning with Miss Arlene Francis.
Mr. Gallagher, are you an outdoors man? Does your job keep you outdoors some of the time?
Yes.
Do you wear any kind of covering other than the sort of good-looking suit you have on now while you're working at your job? A coverall or an overall or something like that? You do? Do you work in the earth in some way?
In the earth.
On the earth.
You mean above it?
I meant, does he have anything to dig?
Well, this is a very tricky question. Mr. Gallagher is inclined to give you the benefit of the doubt and therefore to be somewhat more generous than I would be. However, I do not feel that it's my province to go against his wishes.
I couldn't
We'll
be
give you a
happier.
yes.
Thank you very much.
Please, rather.
Now, back to Mr. Gallagher, and that'll be a relief. Mr. Gallagher, you use tools in your job, implements of some kind?
Yes.
Would you be inclined to, do you grow anything in the soil?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Sir.
Well, I'll fall for Mr. Daly's false lead, Mr. Gallagher. Do you possibly work below the surface of the earth at any time?
No.
That's 2 down and 8 to
I
go,
thought
Miss
so.
Kilgallen.
Well, do you ever deal with living things?
Yes.
Are they ever people?
Yes.
Or would you say they were usually people?
Yes.
Almost to the exclusion of animals?
Yes.
Are these people of a specific class of society? Or do they all have something in common?
I would say these people all had something in common, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Are any of them where they are involuntarily?
Mr. Gallagher! No, none of them...
really wrapping it.
Mr. Gallagher says, well, they're really wrapping us. None of them are there involuntarily. There's 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Allen.
Are you employed by the city?
He's
No.
self-employed.
4 down and 6 to go, Miss Francis.
You're self-employed, are you not?
Yes.
Isn't that correct?
Oh,
Is there any end product involved in the job that you have?
No.
5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Seth.
Mr. Gallagher, do you teach people anything?
Yes.
Would what you teach these people have something to do with farming in the general sense? Growing
Farming?
things?
No.
Growing
that's
things?
No. 6 down and 4 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Well, would there be any activity going on where you are teaching the people something? Any physical activity?
Yes.
Would it be anything in the line of games or sports?
Yes.
Outdoor games and sports?
Yes.
Is there something that young men play?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it a game involving teams rather than individuals, like such as track?
Yes, it involves teams.
Yes.
Is this the sport that's ever played by colleges?
By colleges?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Is it ever played by others? Ever played professionally?
Oh, yes.
Would it be more likely that men would play this than girls?
Yes.
Is it seasonal?
I think it can be
Yes.
so described, yeah.
Well, now, Arlene said something about football on the wild guess, but she got no
Nothing.
smile from John. So is it something other than football?
Yes.
Is it in season now?
No.
7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Allen. 1 more minute.
Is it a warm season sport?
Yes.
We could play it in here tonight. Is it baseball?
Yes.
You're a baseball. You do something with baseball, huh? But you're self-employed. Do you do something other
Yes.
than actually participate in the game? Like you
Yes.
rub down baseball
Yes.
players or...
Are you asking, does Mr. Gallagher rub down baseball players? I think the time has elapsed. And on this happy note, I will flip the cards on
Oh,
a
we must
default
have a place.
because Mr. Gallagher manages an all-girl baseball team. Actually, Mr. Gallagher is the manager of the Hagerstown, Maryland Mollies, the original Mollies.
Maulers or?
Mollies, not Mollies, Mollies. Well, Mr. Gallagher, you have won the full prize and deservedly so, and our thanks for being a fine guest on What's My Line. Nice to see you. Now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, whom our friends on the panel would recognize immediately, so we've had to put some blindfolds on them. Are those blindfolds all in place, panel?
Yes, sir.
Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? Panel, as you know, in the case of our mystery celebrity, we get right down to the general questioning, which we will begin with Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
Are you in some form of the entertainment world?
Oui.
Are you, judging from the applause, what might be called a glamour girl?
Yeah.
Are you, or have you ever been in motion pictures?
Oh, oui.
Is that your current form of employment?
Oui.
Are you more famous for your work in movies than on the stage?
Hmm? Mm-hmm.
What's that?
That's...
That's her.
You never took Greek? That's yes.
Oh, excuse me. Have you ever done anything besides movie work?
Ah, oui.
Have you ever appeared in television?
Small conference, awfully sorry.
She wants to know if this counts.
Oui.
Have you ever appeared on a regular program of your own on television?
Small conference, terribly sorry. Did you ask the question, did our guest ever appear in a regular television program of her own?
Well, let's say a regular television program. I don't know. I know how shady you are with definitions. A regular weekly television program.
A regular week. Oh, you mean a regular weekly television program.
Yes.
That's one down and 9 to go. Mr. Allen.
Was the program on which you appeared then someone else's show rather than your own?
Bien sûr.
Oh, let me see.
Oh.
Have you made a picture in the last year?
Oui.
Are you married?
Mm-hmm.
Are you over 21?
Oui, monsieur.
You'll do. Oh, dear. Have you ever made a Technicolor motion picture?
Oui.
Let's see.
Yeah, I know it.
Oh, boy. Was it a musical?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
Is this husband that you have admitted to also in pictures?
Oui, madame.
He's very well known in pictures,
Ah, oui.
and he very often has a mean right in pictures. He's a strong man.
I guess that means yes.
The lady got weak just thinking about it. Do you have some boxer dogs?
Yes.
Oui. Toi.
Trois. 3, 5. Are you here in New York because you have recently finished a picture that is going to tell all the women of the world how to marry a millionaire? Are you one of the most devastating young women in pictures, Lauren Bacall?
That's right.
Yes, I got my racket there.
Actually, I think it was worth a fortune to see Dorothy's face after the first question that Steve asked. But Dorothy knew then, right?
Suddenly got the
One
voice,
whisper of that husky voice.
Oh, it wasn't
You were a
husky,
dead
though,
duck.
was it?
Oh, yes.
Well, the most wonderful thing about this telling all the young ladies in the world how to marry a millionaire is going to be in CinemaScope, which means it's in 3 dimensions you learn how to...
You get a 3 millionaire that way.
You get a 3 millionaire and you can practically get a hold of him. But
That means that I'm awfully big, too.
Oh, no, I don't think that's
You
possible.
are.
Don't think
Yeah,
that's possible.
no,
But
it is.
I must say that from all the advance notices, you enhance its glory, which I'm sure will be considerable.
Thank
and that
you.
it's going to be a very successful picture. I must say that your visit with us has been very successful and been a wonderful pleasure for me. Thanks
Oh.
very much for being our guest.
Thank
What's
you.
My Life. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Will you say goodbye? All right, now let's see what we can do with another challenger. Will you sign in, please, sir? Howard Harris. Well, I can tell you one thing, panel. Mr. Harris knows exactly what he wants out of life. You should have seen that signature go down. Mr. Harris, our time is not too long, so look at the panel, will you? Tell us where you're from.
Los Angeles, California.
Now come with me, will you? Sit down right here, please. Because we haven't got time for you to go down on that hike in front of the panel, and we want them to have a good chance to guess what your occupation is, which always, in our ceremony, begins with a free guess. And Miss Dorothy Kilgallen always gets the first free guess.
I think he's a casting director.
A casting director, Mr. Allen.
It's like an executive of some sort, I'd say, in television.
Miss Francis.
I think he makes eyeglass rims.
Mr. Sir.
He has a 10% gleam in his eye. I think he's an agent.
No, I'm afraid not. We'll let our viewers have a further look at Mr. Harris, and at the same time, we will tell them what his line is. All right, Mr. Harris, we have just a little time for the panel to get at you. You know what the rules are. We flip cards every time you give the no, and 10 of these flips, and you're in. Mr. Harris is salaried. With that, we'll begin the general questioning with Bennett Cerf.
Mr. Harris, do you work for a profit-making organization?
Yes.
Is there anything surprising in the fact that this company makes a profit?
I didn't know till just now.
Is there a product involved in this
No.
work that you do?
No, there's no product as we use the term. 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Then you deal in services.
Correct.
Could both men and women avail themselves of your
Yes.
services? Do you require a considerable education or a high IQ in
No.
your work?
This is a rare thing. Diogenes was looking for this man. That's 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Allen.
Are you anybody's boss?
No,
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Do you work in an enclosure?
not necessarily.
However, we don't, I will say this, though, that it is likely to assume that the majority of your work would be done in an enclosure of some kind, yes?
Well,
And
I'll
on
go
that-
along with that.
We'll give you a
You just
qualified
don't like to
yes.
be indoors.
That's right. I'd rather be outside, but I'm in an enclosure.
Do people come to you?
Yes.
Are they glad to come to you?
Yes.
Are
And
they
no.
happy after they have seen you?
I think so.
And you say there is no product at all involved in what you do?
There is
No.
not a product in our termination.
I see. Do you do any paperwork in your job?
Yes.
Do you have to have any knowledge of figures? I mean numbers.
No.
No, not
To the left.
specifically. 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Sir.
Do the people who come to you come to get permission to do something or to get a license for something?
No.
5 down and 5 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Are they usually grown-ups?
Yes.
Do they do anything physical when they get where you are?
Sometimes.
Before they get to where I am or after they've
No,
gotten
after
there?
you see them, do they move around at all?
Yes. quite frequently.
Stand up and sit down?
Yes.
And you think it's fun?
I didn't say that.
Miss Dorothy. I must say that I think that Miss Dorothy is getting the germ of an idea, but our time is running out, so by default of time, and not the panel's fault, you get the full prize, and Mr. Harris, you're going to be very happy to hear, is a television gag writer. Who do you do this for now?
Does this give you a clue?
Jackie Gleason?
Jackie Gleason, yeah.
All right, Mr. Harris, thanks very much for being my guest. Nice to have you with us. We'll be back in just a minute. Next week, this is John Daly saying good night, Dorothy.
Good night, Steve. Happy Tuesday night.
Thanks. Good night, boys, and good night, Arlene.
Good night, boys. And girls. Good night, Bennett.
I'd like to say that our mystery guest tonight is really one of the swellest people in Hollywood.
True.
Good night, John.
And good night, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for being with us on What's My Line?
It's America's favorite ball game. Bingo America with Patrick Duffy. Print your card for free at gsn.com, and if your bingo matches our bingo, you could win cash.
B-I-N-G-O.
It's that simple. Watch and play Bingo America tomorrow at 4:30, 3:30 Central, only on GSN.